All right, to this now, Public Works Minister Dean Macpherson has vowed to turn South Africa into a construction site. Macpherson made these comments and this commitment as he gave an update on the progress made in his department. He spoke to our Nasiphi Same on how this will be achieved.
Well, we want to make sure that we create an environment that is conducive to investment in infrastructure. So we want to make sure that we have safe sites, that people are able to get on with their work, and that investors feel confident that their projects will be delivered on time and on budget. Secondly, we want to create a much bigger pipeline in infrastructure projects than we currently have. That's what we're working on at the moment, so that we can get cranes in the sky and shovels in the ground. But then thirdly, we're going to have to match that with financing. And so we are working with new partners, we're working with new banks and financial institutions to come alongside and invest alongside government in these programs. So it's ambitious, it's long term, but I'm absolutely confident that we are now on track to meet this goal.
Looking at budget, Minister, we obviously cannot ignore that. If you have such an ambitious plan, getting cranes in the sky and turning South Africa into a construction site, how do you plan to, not only restructure in the department, but how do you plan in making sure that, that promise to South African becomes a reality?
Well, obviously we need to find new funding sources, and the good news is that there's no shortage of that, particularly offshore. So tomorrow I'll be going to China with the President on his first state visit in the 7th administration, and we're going to be meeting with banks that have never been involved in projects in South Africa before. And that speaks to the level of excitement that people have for this new government, for this government of national unity, and for the drive that we have in terms of infrastructure projects and investment. So I'm confident that the money is there. We just have to go and seek it out, and we have to create bankable and feasible projects for people to invest in. I've also had meetings and discussions with local funding institutions, and they are also equally excited to come alongside us. So government, of course, will play its role. It will have to come to the table. It must have cash on the table, so to speak, which we will do, but we're going to seek to leverage that in the private sector and with partners. And if we can do that, I'm confident that we can see a lot more investment into infrastructure than we currently do have.
On that note, we can't ignore the construction mafia that has currently gripped South Africa in various provinces. In the city of Cape Town, for example, we understand that there are, inroads that they're making as far as that is concerned. How do you look at, playing your role as a national government in assisting municipalities when it comes to construction mafia? Is there a plan?
Yes, there absolutely is. And that's why I've called for a national summit that we'll be having soon, that will bring all of the 9 MECs in infrastructure together, myself, various ministers in the law enforcement and justice clusters, as well as our top police officials, so that we have a coordinated and single plan of how to fight back against the construction mafia. It's not a battle that we can afford to lose, because if we lose our construction sites, we'll lose just more and more of our country. So we're absolutely determined to win this. But we also want to take heart from what the city of Cape Town has done. They've put more money into law enforcement. They've put money into looking for information that leads to arrests. So there is some good work being done. This week, in KwaZulu-Natal, the police arrested 5 people linked to the construction mafia, and I sat in a courtroom myself making sure that they weren't released on bail. And I really commend the work that the police have done there. So I think that we're ramping up, we're becoming more energized, we've seen a lot more response from government against the construction mafia, and I think that this is just the start of what we can see to ensure that we win this war.